Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Crizo here, coming back at you again, friends, enemies, acquaintances, lover. I've missed you. I hope you're having a very good end of the year. Um, Peace and prosperity and nourishment. Uh, I want to talk about my top five albums of the year today. Excluding my number one pick, I'm going to be baiting you guys into watching that with my friends Mario and Thomas. We're going to be getting together, doing a video on that. But until then, I hope you can appreciate the other albums that came very close to number one and honestly, in some cases, were interchangeable. And to start here, I have very obviously I Lay Down My Life for You by JPEG Mafia. Came out in August, the full release, I believe. Yes, the 1st of August. With the single coming out like in July or something with Sin Miedo. The second track to the album, right behind the starter, which I really enjoy at a minute 48. This album had a lot of rock music in it, like a lot of heavy chords, guitars, booming bass, a lot of yelling and metal inspiration. And to me, that made this album a breath of fresh air, at least in the landscape that it was around. And also, if you guys listen to Vultures at all, a lot of people really do not appreciate Vultures, but the production bleeds into Vultures a little bit if you listen to that album. Uh, this album, however, the one we're talking about today, was very close to home to me because it brought this visceral energy that I really appreciate. You know, I'm a big punk enthusiast, and while this is not punk music, this is music that I can get down to. And in a live setting, this music translates very much into punk. You know, if you've ever been to a Peggy show, he just has his laptop out, he's yelling at you, and you're in there throwing your fucking weight around as much as you can. So, I Lay Down My Life for You, to me, was a moment. At least sonically, like for JPEG Mafia, like I love how different it is from the rest of his discography, and his bars are as they've always been. Like I feel like it's still polarizing for the general public. Like if you enjoy JPEG, then you will, and if you don't, you will not. But I will say that this album is a lot more digestible from what I've heard from people that have been averse to him in the past because they think he's kind of weird or goofy or he scares the hoes, you know. So I really, really, really recommend I Lay Down My Life for You if you're looking for a high energy, high octane rock, spit in your face kind of record, you know. I would say if that sounds appealing to you, please check it out. My fifth favorite album this year, and honestly, like aside from maybe the top two, these are in no particular order. Like I'm just giving you a number of albums. I'm not really trying to be like this one's better than that one. Not the Tizo album. At number four, for my favorite albums of the year, the album Crucified was something that was also refreshing and came at a time for me where I needed to slow down and just kind of enjoy the ride, you know. And Cruza does that to me whenever I play it. And I tend to play this album from top to bottom because they did such a good job bleeding all of the songs together. And also because the lyrics are so simple in this slow psychedelic rock anthem album, forgive me, album of anthems. The lyrics are really fun to sing and follow along with as you play the track list, and it's just such a sexy, slow, cool breath of fresh air. And I mean cool by like not like it's oh like that's cool to look at, like cool as in it's cold. Like you feel cold listening to this. This slows your heartbeat, you know. Except maybe the song On Fire. I set your soul on fire. I wish I could sing like that. But man, if Such Is Love, I believe, was the single track. But Lovers Rock is like this ballad. It became the most popular track, also about love. Most of these are about sensuality, love, themes of lust. But gosh, if you need a transportative, I need to stop saying that word. if you need a soothing album to recenter your focus and kind of help you realign yourself, help you look forward, uh, yeah, Crucified, my comfort album of the year. That's how I will sell you this album. Please listen to Such Is Love and Lovers Rock and Creep. Creep, possibly my favorite song of the year, just for personal reasons. In Waves by Jamie XX. I was not expecting to be so infatuated with this album this year. But this year I was on a big house kick, EDM kick in general. You know, I was out getting down like till 5, 6 in the morning sometimes. So I was listening to a lot of that beep boop. And Jamie XX, man, in the lead up to this album, like he dropped these songs, like, and also these little tapes, full of tracks. And wow, did I enjoy them! Every time he did, I was eager to look through them to see if there was another banger I could throw on in the car when we're on the way to get while we're pre gaming. You know, like not that we're drinking in the car. You know, where do we start? Treat each other right, man. What Juana's a great intro, but I think the album really starts at Treat Each Other Right. Like this song takes you for a loop, and you do not ever expect the drops to come at you the way that they do. And I think it sets a good precedent for the rest of the album. Like you really shouldn't have preconceived expectations. And I don't know, is the picture here, is this indicative of that? This thing where it's like you see things coming in waves, but you know, like there's like a missing piece to it, or is this supposed to be like you're the missing piece to the wave, that like you should be flowing about with this? I don't know. I don't know if it's even that conceptual. Baddie on the Floor, I listened to 1 million times this year. Great, amazing, just honestly kind of standard club track. All You Children with the Avalanches was an amazing collab. The Avalanches inspiration is immediately present, and the vibe is there. Like, it feels more like an Avalanches song to me than a Jamie XX song. Granted, I am more familiar with their discography than Jamie's. And yeah, like this album flows really well into together. You like EDM, you want to throw some ass, In Waves, Jamie XX. No Name, Jack White, my interchangeably favorite album of the year. I did not expect to enjoy this album as much as I did, and it's just a good old fashioned hoot and hollering hard rock album. You're gonna find out if you listen to it. Listen to Old Scratch Blues. That first phrase, the boom, 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 it sticks to you, and it never lets go, man. It's really addicting. It's addicting, and Jack, he is relentless on this track list. Like he just hits you back to back to back, and no stopping, no fluff, just straight freaking heat. You know, a bridge if you need it. His theming here too, it's so metal. Like it's rough on the rats, you know. As bad as we got it. Like where does he come up with these ideals, these concepts of, you know, pity for animals, even though we're in the slums and barely getting by, and you know we're hobbling about, you know, and it's kind of has this ironic twist on it that makes you laugh, like, right, the fucking rats, right? And but it's still like fulfilling in that way. Man, I'm gushing. Archborough and Harold Holmes is really fun to listen to. Like, you know, this guy's trying to rip you off, telling you to come to church and bring 3 friends if you want to find salvation. You need to see me right away. And I'm bombing out right afterwards, dude. This song is so fun. It doesn't feel like 2 minutes and 33 seconds. It feels like 5 seconds. It feels like a fucking jet ride. It feels like you're jumping out of a plane. That's what I love bombing out, man. But it does have its slow moments. You know, What's the Rumpus? It doesn't keep pace with the rest of the album. Rightfully so, because this 1 through 6, you're like fucking blasting, trying to keep up with it. Your cheeks are all flapping in the fucking wind while you're listening to 1 through 6, man. And thankfully, What's the Rumpus slows it down just a little bit. Same thing with Tonight Was a Long Time Ago. Like the song structure for this, I love that it's still a good tempo. Like you're still like kind of upbeat, but it's not like the bombastic energy and adrenaline and velocity that the first 6 tracks were coming at you, like I mentioned, you know. And ending out, man, like it it kind of like slows down, but it never like totally like hits like a stop. You know what I mean? And I say my last favorite track at the end here would be Missionary. You know, I think it wraps up that idea very well. And No Name is just so fun for 13 tracks, dude. It's what, 43 minutes? If you're somewhere, if you're like at the gym, you could put this on. If you're running, I feel like it's also just really good to put on at the grocery store. Selectively, these songs can be put on a playlist pretty well. Like if you have a blues playlist, put on Old Scratch Blues. Man, that's a little rougher, but man, like it's that phrase is undeniable, man. Jack White, oh my gosh, I feel so like such an idiot for not exploring his discography earlier. Like I always knew that he was like very well spoken about and very talented, and of course I like the White Stripes. But Christ, I was not expecting this. Oh mercy, mercy, mercy. Jack White, thank you so much. Thank you so much to you for making it this far in the video. I kind of blasted through this. I'm gonna fuck up the editing. I just know it. I love you, Thomas, NJ. Thank you guys for doing this with me. I thank you for appreciating this and leaving a comment if you do, or leaving a like or showing your mom's, you know, so she can look at my pretty face while she knits. And please be on the lookout for our collaboration video. It'll be coming out extremely soon, before the new year comes out. More music.